German sips with a grin so wide. Pogs on the table can't hide his pride. Creator in the corner starts to glare. Madness sparks and hate fills the air. Stack 'em high, a tower of luck. Germans winning, it feels like pluck. Alice Matt's fury, a brewing storm. Visions of pogs in every form. Pogs are spinning, tables turning. Alice Matt's eyes with fierce fire burning. Germans' laughter echoes loud in a world that's pog-bound proud. Matt sees and he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. And he's mad insane. Eyes on fire, can't take the strain. Pogs and pieces drive him to pain. His patience snapping like an old chain. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Alas, my fumes can't take no more. Pogs and slammers hit the floor. It's not about the game you see. It's about what fun could be. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann. Das nie gewinnen, enden Mann.
What are you talking about, Young, in the chat? I said good evening, everyone. I'm being friendly. I'm being inviting. I'm being tolerant, inclusive. I am being organic DEI. This, Carol, is violence. This is pure violence. I didn't deserve this from you or from any of your people coming in here with this shit. I did not deserve this. We're going to have a fun conversation, but you want to come and derail it. As always, why can't you make E-Man 580? He's accommodating. He says, hey. And my good friend Bear, first in the chat to say, hey, how's it going? No, you don't come in and start with the gaslighting and just violence. Just pure violence. There was no need for that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Carol, go ahead. But you know what? More people are going to see what you're doing, and I'm going to have sideness. KS, we had this conversation, KSS. We had this conversation. It's Monster Monday, also known by some ridiculous, overly long, convoluted bullshit title that Elasmat came up with your host, Elasmat and Helmut. Well, Helmut's going to be late because he has a family thing to tend to, so he'll be a little late. But Monster Monday, okay, hold on. Before I continue with more intros, because you people are on some shit, I'm going to go ahead and look at YouTube right now, okay? And we're going to look at to see if the whole Monster Monday thing is done. Let's see. Monster Mondays. Yes, yeah, I type in Monster Monday, and oh shit, look at this. You got a bodybuilder, some bodybuilding website that says Monster Monday. There's a live stream going on called Monster Monday. I'm looking at it right now. There's a legit live stream called Monster Monday by Miles Monster Incorporated. So you don't believe me? I'm telling you, I see it here, and there's a legit live stream. Actually, you know what? Let's go to it right now. Let me quickly check it out. I'm not gonna stream snipe it. Well, maybe I should just to I'm gonna just do it just to show you guys that I'm not making this up. There really is a Monster Monday. I'll just be another Monster Monday. See, look. And no, shout out to these people, by the way. I don't know who they are, but shout out to you guys. Hopefully you grow your channel. So, but that's them. So I'm just showing it because it does exist. Miles Monster Incorporated. Let's just check out the channel for a second. See, look, they have Monster Monday. You go out live. See, look, they have a Monster Monday show. Why would I steal their content? Ken says, why would you make me steal their content? Why? Why? I am not a villain. I'm not a bully. I'm a thought-provoking, inclusive POC. You know me better than this. This is not necessary, KSS. 100% with the violence between you or colors. Look what she's doing. How I treat you. No, you came and tried to derail me and try to sabotage my ever-growing empire and influence. That's what you did here. I was not necessary. Akuma says, I just got here. And he's already said, who's spurring it? I'm just trying to correct the record. I'm correcting the record. Wait, what the wait, what the hell? The hell is this? Who's got the last mate on there? Wait, I gotta see this right now. I'm going to your channel right now, whoever this person is. One subscriber? The fuck? One subscriber with my name, with my fake name, and a profile pic that was clearly taken out of context. Words hard. Clearly taken out of context. See, Casey, you're still on this. If you call your show Monster Monday, but there are a bunch of other Monster Mondays, imagine how many more confused potential subs you could gain, you jerk. You know, here's what we're gonna do. I just checked my ad revenue, not my entire super chat revenue. I'm at $80. If I get $20 super chats today, I will then go and do the Monster Monday thing. How about that? How about this? If I can get $20 in super chat money today, I will call it Monster Monday. Does that make you happy? Is that a good middle ground? I think so. I think so. Oh, really? Come on, really? Come on. I guarantee you will. I guarantee you will. I guarantee you will. Guys, with every last match stream is a countdown to his mental breakdown live on. You know what? You wish. I don't know who his Elasmate is, but you know what? You're getting banned because you're not going to come here and take over my copyright and infringe upon my rights. It's not happening. It's not happening. Mods in the chat, ban him. Hide him. Something. Be useful. Pretend you're on my side for once. Just pretend you're on my side.
You guys want to go get some DESSERT? Yeah, dude, I need me a TREAT.
What you guys talking about?
Yeah, why did you guys just spell dessert?
No, shut up! Don't say it.
Why?
Oh god, how do we tell you this?
Simon can't spell.
What?
He can't spell, so when we talk about something he wants, we spell it out loud so he doesn't get too excited.
He's a grown man. He can't handle hearing the word treat?
Treat?
No treat.
Treat?
No treat.
Treat?
No treat.
Oh.
Okay, what is happening?
We told you he gets excited when he hears the word TREAT.
What you talking about?
Taxes.
Oh, shucks.
What, so you guys just treat him like a toddler?
Treat?
No treat.
Treat?
No treat.
Treat?
No treat.
Oh.
Dude, you gotta spell if you're talking about FOOD.
Okay, so are we getting an SNACK?
Snack?
Oh, come on,
man.
Dude, really? Oh, come on, I spelled it.
Well, he knows how to spell snack.
So he can spell snack, but he can't spell treat?
Treat?
No treat!
Treat?
No treat!
Treat?
No treat!
God damn it! Okay, he's getting fussy. It's time for an NAP.
Yeah. What does NAP spell? Party.
That never gets tired. Ever. Never when you get no, whoever you are, yeah, I am gonna time you out and I'm gonna censor you. Because you're undermining my existence and my very being. Wait, Kay says I have to buy a name change? Wait. You couldn't just listen to your fans? You know how this works, KSS. You know this space is you have to pay me. Maybe not, but still. Pretend. I don't care if it's a chat poll, whatever. I just need to know if that's the way to go. So how many okay, wait, hold on a second. Now that I think about it, if that live stream had only 2 people watching, how many people are actually looking for Monster Monday? Not many people. And the ones that are doing it, 2 of them are going to a live stream, and the other are probably checking out some bodybuilding chick doing some lifts. They're not coming here. That doesn't work. Why are you such a snowflake? Wait, who you calling a snowflake? Bear? I said hi to you today. You undermined our goodwill. What was that Godzilla bit? I found it and it was just cool. It's one of my intros now, so I like it. So no, you don't. You want to get blocked. You want to get blocked and banned. Wait, hold on. Spook Reviews is still the worst title ever created. You know what, Pete? I guarantee you, if I was 2 shades whiter, you would say that's the best title ever created. I'll laugh, Matt. No, it's because we can't have Pops be innovative. We have to hold them down and suppress them. Well, I'm keeping the title until further notice. Not about that. How about that? How about that, right? Exactly. Wait. Where's the link for B-Sis and Roadwarrior? You're a mod! Why are you putting that up on me? You're the mod! You're supposed to type it and copy and paste it while I do the show. I can't do it all. I can't do it all. I really can't do it all. Why you guys such jerks to me? All of you are such jerks. I've been nothing but kind to you. And this is how I get paid? As we talk about Halloween season 3, we had a watch party today. I'll talk about that watch party in a second. But well, let's play this little service, public service announcement. Here we go. Then again, I realized something. I do have to update that video. That was an old video from like 20 years ago. So, that's right. Everyone, let's go to Monster Monday. They're using a show title that we like. Good. Aha. Good. Do it. And I will shut this channel down, and you jerks will never hear from me again. You will never, ever hear from me again. Well, maybe until Thursday when I do the Indie Comic Con live streams. But, wait, what? Hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, that'll be that. So fine. It's okay. I will live. I will be fine. You know what? It's okay. I'm going to survive this current onslaught of you people, because we can't have a conversation. We can't be a Communitah united. We can't do that. We just can't do that. So it's fine. It's fine to be that way. It's perfectly fine. I don't care. I really don't care anymore. Just go do. Oh wait, we're talking about a movie, right? Halloween season 3. We had a watch party today for Halloween season 3, the black sheep of the Halloween franchise. And like I saw it one time when I was a kid, but I didn't pay attention to it because it came on WPIX 11 in New York City back in the day, around the evening, back when we had just network TV and things were a bit more innocent back in the day. At least for us, it was. I don't know. It just seemed kind of innocent, but I thought the movie was going to be about real witches, and it wasn't. But I didn't understand much of it when I saw it as a kid because I was just distracted by the fact that there was not much monsters in it. Monster Monday, and we're talking about movies that don't have monsters. Anyway, so we saw it today with the watch party, and within the first 10 minutes, I was hooked. I liked the music was awesome. It had that Ennio Morricone the thing going, feel going for it. Both of them are John Carpenter. Although this one was directed by John Carpenter. Tommy Lee Wallace was the director of Halloween 3. But did New York City get Buckaroo Bob? I don't know if he did. I remember watching Dr. Morgus. I like Morgus. He would show the horror films on the Saturday afternoon shows on Channel 11 WPIX in New York City. And you guys can find some of those Morgus clips on YouTube if you grew up on Dr. Morgus. But he showed like a lot of the old like sci-fi Godzilla, Blob movies, or some of the Hammer movies back in the day when things were innocent. Back in the day, those days were very innocent. But yeah, so I didn't really understand this movie because I didn't pay attention to this movie when it first came out. So today, watching it, really studying it for the first time, and watching it with the watch party by Discord, the safe space, because the Discord is a safe space, and so you can go and be a part of a Communitah that indulges and engages in the arts and other things. So Carpenter was a producer. Yeah, he was a producer of this movie. Tommy Lee Wallace was the director. And like I said, I was hooked in the first 10 minutes, but then after that, I can see why people didn't like it, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I saw a retrospective on Movie Bob. Oh, Movie Bob. Yes, the the that Movie Bob, who hosted horror movies on MTV. Oh wait, no, you talk about some other Movie Bob. Okay, so not YouTube Movie Bob, a different Movie Bob. Are you talking about Joe Bob Briggs? Is that what you're talking about? Or is this another guy? I remember TBS doing Dinner and a Movie as well as movies for guys who like movies. Yeah, I think you're talking about Joe Bob Briggs. It's not the same. Movie Bob is the fat retard who hates anything to the right of center. Now that guy's a spurg and a complete just nutcase. Boku Bob wasn't a horror show host. He dressed like a cowboy and showed cartoons. Think he was outside of Rochester. Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember that. It clicked the memory. Yeah, no, I knew of him, but I didn't watch Boku Bob. I was not a Western fan, so I never got into Westerns. So yeah, that's outside of my general circle of interest. But Bears in the chat says Season of the Witch was weird, too damn different, more of a one-off of the Halloween franchise. Well, Bear, that was the original plan for the Halloween franchise, because John Carpenter wanted to do a series of Halloween-themed movies that was its own thing, apart from the Michael Myers stuff. So the idea was each Halloween film was going to be about something that was centered around Halloween, but it was a different story, different universe, not really tied to each other. Well, what happened was the third Halloween film, Season of the Witch, didn't do great in the box office. It made back some money, so it didn't lose money, but it didn't make that much money. So the studios were like, yeah, we got to go back to what was working for us before, which was Michael Myers. And they went back to Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. So that was the next fourth film. So that's why this film is the Black Sheep. I was going to say Black Sheep of the franchise. And, again, I can see why, but it had some good ideas, but it was not as much of a horror movie as it was a weird sci-fi movie. There were elements of horror, but I don't think they really rested on that, and they should have. So what were the ties to the Halloween season in this movie? Well, the masks in the movie, here you see a frame from one of the more famous scenes in the movie where the kid wearing a mask watches a commercial that triggers a microchip in this mask. And the microchip contains a piece of the Stonehenge. And if you know your Druid lore, Stonehenge is where the Druids would do little rituals where it was alleged they would sacrifice kids. And that's the theme of this movie, where the corporation wants to sacrifice kids. So hence that why they're making them wear masks. So yeah, that's really not that movie, Bob. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He actually had a good video series on Batman v Superman, but yeah, he just went full retard after that. So Mazzy says that's a screenshot of me waiting for Elasma to cockfight Winger. It's off my hands, Matt. See, it's off my hands. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's off my hands. It's still on the table, but I have no control say over when that's going to happen at this point. Yeah, the guy who hosted Monster Vision was Joe Bob Briggs. That was his name. He was a Movie Bob. It was Joe Bob Briggs. And yeah, I like that. I like that guy. I like seeing him on TNT, and then it was fun watching him. TNT was the bomb back in the day, but never mind today. Never mind the whole stuff about we do drama. It's no. Go back to when people actually watched your freaking channel. Okay, so this was supposed to start in an anthology series, but people got buttered with the Michael Myers. Yeah, and in hindsight, I don't know. What do you guys think in hindsight? Do you think that it was a good idea in hindsight? Because we have a bunch of Halloween movies with Michael Myers. They had to do a whole bunch of timelines. So there isn't one set timeline now. There's 4 or 5 different timelines with Michael Myers. And yeah, I don't know. I personally think they should have gone the route of making each Halloween film its own thing. But people get too comfortable, and that's an example of when fan backlash kind of backfires. So, I don't know. Bucket here, he says, I think if Season of the Witch had been its name, people would have appreciated or accepted it. Yeah, I think probably Season of the Witch, possibly. Yeah, I think maybe. Do you think the name attached to it is why it did so poorly? I guess because people just wanted that Michael Myers. I guess that's what it was. Because the story itself was kind of like in some parts it dragged. I feel like it started out pretty strong. The music was very moody, so it sets the stage for something horrific. And um, one of the characters, or some old guy, he ends up he's escaping the corporation that is apparently responsible for making these masks, and later on, I found out that the employees of that corp are actually androids. That's what I'm saying. It gets a little too sci-fi, a little bit, and it's like I don't know if that was the theme you wanted to go for in a Halloween franchise. It should have been more ghoulish, more supernatural, you know. So maybe it was definitely a lost or blown opportunity there. But 50% critic review on Rotten Tomatoes, and to this day, it does have a cult following. It has grown in appreciation from a lot of people these days. It's got a retcon sense of appreciation. If myself stop fucking coughing, anyway. So its reputation has grown over the decades. It was like an Outer Limits episode. I think it's a good way of putting it. So the whole microchip thing was dumb. They should have made it more mystical. Yeah, exactly. I think it went a little too sci-fi, and that's probably turned people off too. Because if you're making a film that's Halloween themed, you're expecting either more supernatural, more monstrous, less robots, less microchippy stuff. I mean, maybe the thought of a corporation trying to murder kids can be horrific, but I don't think this movie did a great job with the horror side of stuff. You know, as a movie, it's interesting, but as a horror movie, it doesn't deliver too much of the horror. There's some genuinely spooky shots in the movie, though, but overall, like running from androids and it was just weird. It just it's not horror entirely. It's definitely more sci-fi. Bear says, "Wait, last bat and Wayne have a cockfight? That's the real horror show." Well, you know what? I bring the goods, so you better be there for that. Bad idea, says guys. Should have called it Season of the Witch or something. Probably, yeah. I mean, at this point, like you could look at it and say, yeah, because honestly, the conversation about it being the third Halloween film, I think more people remember it because of that. I think if it was just Season of the Witch, it probably would have been forgotten in the annals of time. But because of the Halloween name on it, it gives people more reason to acknowledge it and talk about it. And if you see my Indie Comic Gallery streams, I talk about legacy. And one of the ways to build legacy is sometimes like the question marks. Like, for example, my stream title, Communitah Unitah Spook Review. People are like, well, that's a stupid title. Well, you know what? If I went with the other title, you probably wouldn't even think twice about it. But that conversation is there, and now people are intrigued. So I think I'm onto something. Okay, it says that if Helmut was here, he'd say Halloween 3 was originally written by the writer of The Quartermaster's Experiment, which is one of John Carpenter's favorite movies. Well, there you go. You learned something new, folks. Let's see here. Going down further, I think Hollywood goofed with demanding Michael Myers return in Halloween 2. It should have been a yearly anthology film series. You know what? I was thinking this as I was watching the movie. If modern day Hollywood is smart, which they're not, but if they want a gold mine, they would actually do like a Halloween film series, maybe do 5 total, about a different threat. Maybe a COVID of ghoulish looking witches in one, werewolves in another, ghosts in another, whatever. And each film shows a little bit of Michael Myers, and the 5th film is Michael Myers, with the other creatures from those movies coming in at some point to kind of give a nod. Like if they did that and committed to that, they'd have probably a very profitable franchise. I really think they should do that, and it would really harken back to Carpenter's original vision. Phillips says it is creepy, and the villains actually want to kill children. The heads turn to mush bug snakes in a horror. Words hard. The heads turning to mush bug snakes is a horrific death. Yeah, I think the movie should have probably focused more on things like that. The Android stuff kind of does take away from it. So just having like these corporation, they were making these masks, but it turns out these masks are just a tool by the head of the corporation to honor this ancient Druid ritual of sacrificing kids on All Hallows Eve. That would have been a better story to base this on, and I think that would have probably given the movie at the time a better reception, and more people would have been open to the Halloween series veering into these anthology type films. The whole movie dragged. I felt some scenes dragged, like the scenes in the hotel definitely dragged. Having Tom Atkins' character it became like a whole like this mystery thing, and too much on him, and he wasn't like an intriguing character. Like Tom Atkins is a pretty good actor. He was good in Night of the Creeps. Here, I just think he was just going through the motions, and you don't really know too much about his character other than he's just a tool that the audience uses to learn about what's happening and the discovery aspect of it. But his character just was there. This wasn't really one of Tom Atkins. I know it's a legendary performance because Halloween 3 has gotten cult status over the years, but I wouldn't see this as a legendary performance by Atkins here, just because he was in it. That's really it. But I originally didn't care for Halloween 3, but it's grown on me over the years. I watch it each Halloween. Yeah, I'm here not to say that it's a bad movie, but I can see why people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. Yeah, but then 30% audience rating. Yeah, I mean, look, again, I'm not here to tell you that it's quality filmmaking. It's not a terrible film. It's just a blown opportunity. That's how I rate this movie, is a blown opportunity. Okay, let's see here. Let's go down more. As a movie, it doesn't offer too much in the line of horror. Dude, little kids were DED. That usually doesn't happen in horror movies, you jerk. Okay, kids, first of all, be nice to me, number one. Be nice to me. That's the first thing you're going to do. This is a safe space. So you got to treat me with reverence and cherishment. That's the first thing. Second thing is, there wasn't enough kids being killed in the movie. Maybe 2 scenes at best. No, actually, wait. No, I think there's only 1 scene of kids getting killed. And then the threat of a bunch of kids getting killed is what happens towards the end. But other than that, no, it's just these androids and motel scenes and just dragging. Lots of scenes of dragging. It needed more of the kid stuff. It needed more of that to really hammer in the threat. Because the thing is this: you have kids, right? If you have kids, one of your biggest fears is seeing your children get harmed or worse, right? So the movie should have played on that. It really should have played throughout on the whole theme of your kids going out having fun, enjoying this holiday, not realizing that they are potentially being used as a part of a ritual of death. That should have been the film's theme. The whole thing with the androids is just weird. It just detracts from that. So Matthew says, I really did Quatermass Experiment. It's great. Didn't realize it was influential. Oh yeah, the Quatermass Experiment was it was very influential. I gotta watch that show. But yeah, it definitely was influential. It was one of the more iconic series. Though for the time, that lady pulling apart the chip and her face getting nuked was creepy at the time. Yeah, no, there's a lot of creepy shots in the movie. A lot of them. But like I said, I think what I described would have been a better movie. I stand by that totally. I agree. Every different premise every year is better, but greed rules the world. Yeah, and greed doesn't always equal smart choices. And these people in Hollywood want to make money, but then they do things to lose money. I don't know. Let me not say it. Let's see here. Let me not say it. Tom Atkins was great in Lethal Weapon. He gets shot drinking eggnog. Yeah, he's a very well-known actor of the 80s. He had his hits and misses, but I think this movie, he was in it. He was in this movie. Let me shut my phone. He was in this movie, but his character didn't really do anything of note that you could say was relatable or memorable, other than, telling the stations to stop playing the promo, which is what ignites these microchips that does these horrific things to kids in the masks. It's not a safe space for us. We have to hear and possibly see you. Oh, so does this frighten you? I hit the wrong button. Does this frighten you? I hope it does. I hope it does. I hope it frightens you. And what shouldn't frighten you is Street Champion Road Warrior Drake, right? Is currently in the website roadwarriordrake.com. B Citizen Road Warrior Drake is currently in the print shop right now. And since I have the camera on, I was at the drive-in theater yesterday, trying to sell books. I had also the first time I was selling copies of Pumpkin Warpatch issue number 1, but I knew you guys would like this, so I got me this. This is not a Funko. I don't do Funkos. This is not a Funko. This is a Gremlin. See, look, I got this yesterday. Check this out. See, I got this. It is a vinyl Gremlin in the style of crochet. Isn't that cool? It's awesome, right? And it'll go well with my Gremlins figures over here. As you can see, I have I haven't shown my Gremlins collection yet, or have I? But I will at some point. And I might be doing a video on the action figure stuff because of the tariff stuff and grown men crying about tariffs. But I might do a video on that at some point. So here we go. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Now you saw my face. You can't complain. Ever. Never Nugan. Eggnog. Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Let me just get myself back where I'm supposed to be. Okay. There we go. Okay. That's better. Bear says you can't order around Emperor Elasmat. How dare you bend the knee? You can't bend knees. You could, well, maybe you can, but I don't want to be that violent. I'm not that guy. Not yet. Best Carpenter is Prince of Darkness. No, not his Hollywood crap. He's one of the quintessential indie filmmakers. Blessed with big budgets. So The Thing is my favorite horror Carpenter movie, with Escape from New York a close second. Definitely not. Definitely The Thing. Absolutely. Nine of Dead Kids. Allows by 2025. Why are you quoting me on that? Why? And taking me out of context. Okay, says fine. I'm sorry. I'll be nice. You jerk. Such a bastard. I anointed him as Emperor of the Slums the other day, but no, he's not appreciative of that. That's fine. You are dead on a lot. The movie had great potential. That's what I saw. I saw potential, but I didn't see too much fulfillment in that potential. Look who it is. That's Helmut. He's back home. Okay. I guess he wants to get on the stream, so let me go ahead and send him the link. Helmut wants to come on the stream. So let's see. Where is you? Where is you? Here we go. Okay. So he was at the watch party, so he could definitely offer more perspective on this. We had a pretty good showing in the watch party today at the Discord, at the Safe Space Discord. We did this thing at about 5:00 Eastern time, and it was cool. It was definitely cool. So, screw you guys! Screw you! How about that? How about go screw yourself every day, every time? Every time. We didn't come and watch the horror last minute. Turn on all the filters. I am not Katie. I'm not turning my filter on. I am lovely and natural in the real me. So you can't tell me what to do because I'm beautifully made. I am organic poetry. It's too bad that you can't see that, but I am organic poetry, and I deserve. I'm worthy. I am so worthy that I'm going to just continue with myself on camera. KSS says, last match said, Tom Atkins was great. He had his hits and misses after I said he got eggnog and lethal weapon. That's a jerk. Funny? Jerk. I'm witty. I'm witty. As a member of this Communitah, I'm valuable. And I'm glad you see that potential. I'm very valuable. So keep that as your driving force to begin or end your days, always. You're making viewers sick. Stop showing your naked face. Now I'm going to show it. Now I'm definitely going to show it. You should have kept your mouth shut, guy in his room. You should have kept your mouth shut. But now I'm going to show it. Because you have no business telling me how to run my life. I am beautifully made. I'm an organic creation of the high, most high. Made in his image. Love this. Cherish it. I put the stream on Just as a plastic crap. This is vinyl, pal. This is vinyl. This is vinyl. This ain't crap. Speaking of crap, by the way, if you got your tchotchkes from China, and this tariff thing gets hit hard, y'all might be sitting on a gold mine. Just saying, you might be sitting on a gold mine. I'm thinking ahead here, so I've had some conversations with some people about this, and they're kind of thinking like I'm thinking. Like there's gonna be a market here soon, so hang on to your tchotchkes. I might even do a video. I gotta do some videos for my channel because I need the channel to grow. So I'm gonna do some more videos, and I might do one on the tariffs and the whole thing with the action figures and some misconceptions about it. So I'm gonna do that. Actually, matter of fact, I'm gonna probably make that my next video. That's a good idea. Let's see. Filters allow that filters. I am not a 40-year-old middle-aged lady who's into let me not go there. No, we're talking Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I am beautifully made. There will be no filters. So Elder Gusa says Gremlins 2 was so legit when I was a kid. Gremlins 1 and 2 are great. They were both totally different, and that I love them for it. So I love Gremlins. I saw both in the theaters, and I'm as big a Gremlins fan as I am of Godzilla. So let me show you my striped figure. This is my striped figure right here from NECA. It's a wonderful figure. I love these figures. And I got like some from the first movie and some from the second movie, including the spider from the second movie right here. So yeah, and I'm deviating a little bit from Halloween 3, but since we're all, spooky reviews, this is spookiness, so Gremlins fits into that. So, and we're staying within the theme and topic of horror movies. So, and maybe we'll do Gremlins at some point. I think it's a movie I definitely want to touch on, review, and discuss about its influence, but that's for another day. But since you brought it up, KSS showing the link to Be Citizen Roadwarrior Drake. That's right. Book is in a printer right now. And we are waiting word on when it will finally get, when it'll be finally ready for me to pick up. And I'm looking forward to that. So, yes. Oh, I'm just checking my messages here for a second, making sure everything's okay. Okay. Yeah, I got a reply to a message from the drive-in theater yesterday. They were thanking everybody for showing up. So I want to do my part to participate in that. Okay, I'm taking my face off camera. Oh, actually, not yet. Oh, wait. We have a guest in the back. There we go. Okay, we have a guest in the back. So what should I put as an intro? Let's see. What's a good intro? That's good. I'll put this one on.
Good evening.
Hello.
Sorry for my lateness.
Oh no, you were away from the horror of people just abusing me very viciously. It was not cool.
I had a fun time in the car with my 11-year-old niece that I drove home because she couldn't sleep at her grandma's house. So I told her the whole story of Halloween 3 while we were driving.
Did she enjoy the story as you told her?
Yeah, she wants to watch it.
Okay, let me ask you this. So I talked about how the movie should have focused more on the threat of kids being killed and making that like the whole parents' worst nightmare and making the movie more about that than less about the androids and all that sci-fi shit. So what did you think about that as you was watching it?
Yeah, I kind of see it the same way. The movie is basically two movies in one movie. It's the sci-fi part with the androids, and it's the occult stuff with the paganism and Stonehenge and the kids melting faces and stuff like that.
My body's art, guy, my body is art. Too bad you can't appreciate it. I'm beautifully made. But yeah, it did feel like two movies.
Yeah, and if it was made in two movies, it would have been good. But it's all over the place for one movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. KSS wants me to tell you about the guy who wrote the Quartermaster Experiment, wrote the first draft for Halloween 3.
Yeah, I kind of knew that. They talked about it in the In Search of Darkness documentary. Yeah, but let's stay at the positive sides of this movie.
Yeah. Okay.
The atmosphere, for the most part, I would say 95% is pretty good.
Yes.
Especially the nighttime stuff, the
Mhm.
stuff in the hospital,
Yeah.
pretty good. The music is awesome.
I love the music. Yeah. The first scene with that guy running away and the way it's shot and that music, I thought was a great way to start that movie.
I'm also a fan of Tom Atkins, but he needed a better sidekick for the movie. Maybe a kid. Because
Yeah. I'm sorry. Because what?
the movie revolves around killing kids, and it would have been better if a kid were the protagonist and Tom Atkins would be the sidekick, kind of like Gary Busey was for Corey Haim in Werewolf of Targa Mills.
That's a good point because it then adds the horror of kids being threatened because now you have a child sidekick and that possibility of him dying, which would add and it would heighten the horror.
Yeah, maybe someone like Corey Haim or Corey Feldman would have been good in that role.
You know, that's a good point. You know, this is 1983, so yeah, Corey Feldman was probably on the cusp of being, you know, mainstream. But that is a good point. They had a famous child actor in that role. Yeah, that would have been that's a good point. It would have added to the horror, because this movie needed more horror, and then you had not that weird love story or like romance angle in the movie, which really was just. Is it me or did it feel out of place that scene with Atkins and the chick? Was it Ellie's her name?
Yeah. All I was thinking about was that girl looks a lot like April O'Neil in the first Turtles comics.
Judith Hogue, yes, she's hot.
Yeah.
Love Judith Hogue, yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
They had the chance and the opportunity before their noses because Tom Atkins' character has 2 kids. And you can see them for small amount of time when they are sitting before the television, and they could have integrated those 2 kids as main protagonists.
I thought they would have. Like I was watching that scene, I'm like, oh, he's got kids, and you would have thought that that those kids, his kids, would have come into play at some point, and they don't.
Yep, that felt short.
Yeah, Mango brings up 2 good points in back to back. First, he says that Tom Atkins dating a girl who's barely legal and sharing a bed with her. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like I said, that whole scene with him and that girl Ellie was like, it took me out of the movie. It was like, it's a little uncomfortable, especially because I think early he was parading her as his niece, and it was just uncomfortable. But then this one right here, that he was more awesome in Night of the Creeps. Yeah, that was a better role because he was more fleshed out as a character in that movie. So
yeah, Tom Atkins plays a lousier role of the role he had in The Fog. Because he played the exact same role in The Fog, where he had Jamie Lee Curtis at his side.
I'm sorry that Guy in the Gym is interrupting your analysis. My face is good, Guy in the Gym. Let Helmet talk. I'm sorry. He was insulting to you. So Helmet, please go ahead.
Yeah, so Tom Atkins is basically playing the role that he played in The Fog.
Yeah.
In a weird way. But there's a fun fact about the hotel stuff. The woman who gets killed in the hotel in the next room was or is the wife of Tom Atkins.
In real life. Okay.
In real life. Yeah, the lady who got her face melted away.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, but I agree with you. The hotel scenes were awkward.
Yeah.
And not good. The stuff with the strange city and all those workers who were in reality androids reminded me a lot of Prince of Darkness. When the students came to the church and it was all awkward around it, with Alice Cooper as a zombie in the streets and stuff like that. And that reminded me of that movie. That it had a creepy feeling,
Mhm.
but the hotel stuff did destroy it, kind of.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you know what? That's exactly right. Before I address that, Andrew's in the chat. Hey, Angela Curry, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here.
Angela.
Yes, but yeah, like the first 10 or so minutes was great. Like, it really set the mood for something, and it was mysterious, spooky, and you're in for something horrific. But then you get to that scene in the motel, it just dragged, and just like it became generic. It became uninspired, and again, that scene with him making love with this chick, it's like, why, you know?
And I must say that the main antagonist, what's his name, Conal Cochran,
Mhm.
the Irish guy, was a
Yes.
great antagonist for
Mhm.
for the plot and stuff like that. He was great, but the story was all over the place, and it didn't.
See, if the Cochrane character was, if there was no androids and there was no like conspiracy, and it was just him running a corporation making these masks, and you know, you see there's this craze of masks. These kids are into these masks, and like it's the talk of the school. And then, you know, when these killings start happening, and then it gets revealed that, oh, he's one of the descendants of these ancient druids who practiced these rituals, and he wanted to bring it back through these masks. And he gives this speech, this very spooky speech to Tom Atkins' character. Now you have, okay, now that's more spooky and more horrific.
Yeah, it didn't need the android and sci-fi stuff. Do it in a separate movie. Do it about a creepy puppet master who creates those androids and is a menace for himself, but not with the Irish paganism stuff. It doesn't mesh well.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I thought they focused more on the sci-fi, less on the horror. So look, this conversation, we came up with a better story with just by taking the little of the horror they had and making it only about that. It was a better story right there.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it had great moments. The scene with where everything explodes in the warehouse with the Stonehenge stone in the middle and stuff.
Mhm.
Great optics, but it didn't came through with the story. The effects were great. The idea was great, but
Right.
it was too much in such a small movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is why I said, like, the horror elements were not spread out. It was interrupted by um sci-fi scenes of human exposition scenes that just dragged it out a bit. And so like you have the first act where that nice build up, and then the middle act where it's just generic whodunit and just dragged out scenes, and then the third act is when you get some more better shots, but even then it's still cut up with the whole scene with Atkins rescuing Ellie, and then the weird way he did, you know, how so he had like a thing of like these little metallic discs, and he was able to disrupt these androids getting the messages fed by that commercial, that air that's supposed to trigger the microchip in the mask that's supposed to kill these kids. It's like, did I miss something here? Like, what's going on? Like, it was just weird.
Yeah, they also had a huge plot hole in the disappearance of the real Ellie and the switch to the cyborg Ellie.
Yeah, so I have a question. So was Ellie replaced with that cyborg? What happened? They never really established what happened to Ellie.
I saw in the documentary where they talked about it, and they said basically Ellie was killed off screen and they replaced her with an android in the meantime.
Right. Okay, I mean that's a horror element that they didn't really go more into, because when he discovers that she's an android. Spoiler alert! When she discovers he's an android, she's about to kill him, and you think he's about to die because like she scratches his face and he runs, he drives into the tree, and there's no like, I mean that's just I guess it's a minor grab because the whole shot of the robot on the ground and the severed arm and everything is kind of spooky, and then that leads to like towards the end, but. Yeah, I feel like they could have done more to really espouse on that. Like in the same way with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, when Kevin McCarthy's character finds out that his girl is one of the aliens, and how that relationship was established up to that point. So you feel because in that movie, like you feel Kevin McCarthy, you feel his dire loss when this girl that he was talking about having a life with and making something new with her in the space of a crumbling society. Now she becomes one of these aliens, and you sense the brokenness in him when he finds that out. That's kind of missing in Tom Atkins' character. And again, it just adds to how useless the relationship between him and Ellie was for the plot of the movie.
And now imagine instead of Ellie, it was character Tom Atkins' son or daughter who turned out to be a cyborg. It would have a better impact for that scene because they had no real relationship, him and that Ellie character. And if he was with his kids and one of the kids turned out to be one of those cyborgs, got replaced, it would have been way better and way more horrific for the movie.
Yeah. So it would have been more horrific, but I think it's a blown opportunity. So wait, Mango's saying that my favorite Halloween movie is one with Tyra Banks. Did she do I don't remember her doing a Halloween movie.
Tyra
Scary
Banks?
movie?
Black movie?
I don't know. I don't know. But Mango just once in a while when he comments, I want to capture it because it's for evidence sake.
Maybe we just don't want to know who that Tyra Banks character is.
The shot of the movie, and then there's us. This is a nice looking screen. I like the aesthetics here. It's busy, keeps the eyes focused, kind of like how we drew a panel in a comic book. Guidance was, oh, good. He put his giant Drake graphics up that cover up too much of the screen and also slow it down. Well, I'm looking at it on my end right now. It's not. Oh, it is slowing it down. Oh. Yeah, it's slowing it down. I would have thought that by decreasing the image of the screen, it wouldn't slow it down. Let me see if I lower the frame rate a little bit. Let me see if that. Okay. Well, right now it seems like it's moving smoothly. Oh yeah. I mean, it looks good on the Streamlabs, but I have to check the YouTube tab. Oh no, now the graphics terrible now. Yeah, I mean it's moving better, but it's got the. Oh no, not now. It's okay, I guess. No, I don't like the way it looked there. I don't like the way it looked there. So I'm gonna go back to the 480, and then we'll just try to work with that. There we go. Okay. So, but I'm glad I saw Halloween 3. I'm glad I finally got to see it and have that closure. I guess you could say closure in the rest of the series because I used to like I saw the other Halloween movies, but for some reason I just never got around to seeing the third one, and I like the Black Sheep. So
I've seen it before. And I can't say I'm disappointed. I'm still a fan of the movie, but it's a sketchy movie. It's a campy movie, and it has flaws. But the visuals are great. The music is still great, and that's what I can cherish.
See, guy in this room. I mean, Mango, you're all the same. I didn't watch the later Halloween films. I can't to me it's just a legit cash grab. And let me take my camera off. There we go. It's a cash grab, those Halloween movies. So I couldn't get into it, and I wasn't going to try to, especially considering that they went to like 2 or 3 different timelines. Because there was that H2O movie that came out in the mid-90s with Jamie Lee Curtis and I think Busta Rhymes was in it. But that second movie that came after that, they kill off Laurie Strode, right? So Jamie Lee Curtis's character is finally killed in that movie. But then years later, they rebooted the Halloween franchise, and she comes back. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing this shit. I'm not gonna get myself invested in that if none of the kills are gonna be, if they're gonna just retcon them. So Halloween Resurrection, yeah, that. So yeah.
And the biggest crap, the biggest Halloween crap, in my honest opinion, are the Rob Zombie movies. They are shit.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that, because I went to see House of a Thousand Corpses in the theaters, and I'm like, what is this shit? Like, I'm sitting in the middle of it, and I'm like, so who thought that remaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a different name and promoting it as something different was a good idea?
Yeah, Rob Zombie is overrated trash.
Yeah, he should stick to making music.
Not even that. The music sucks too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did like some of his songs, but I just think as a film director, he needs to work with someone that is a competent screenwriter, because his takes on stuff is just,
He suffers from the same mental illness as Wes Anderson, to put his fucking untalented crap wife in every movie he makes.
Speaking of untalented crap, yes, Gannon, I'm documenting everything you're saying, everything. What does Mango want me to watch? Let me see. I'm gonna click on that link.
It's a YouTube link, so it's maybe safe.
It looks like a trailer from Dimension Miramax. Oh, it's the Halloween trailer for with the one with Busta Rhymes.
Age 20?
So, yeah, if you guys want to check it out, there's the trailer for that. Check it out. Drake text covering up the back. With Tom Atkins' wife, where her face gets totally mutilated. And it's one of the best effects in the movie. And it's one of the most iconic images. It needed more images like that. Yeah, Mango's not a big fan of Rob Zombie, for sure.
Me too. I don't like him.
El DeGuzzo says, I liked House of a Thousand Corpses. Lord of Salem was kind of a stinker, though. Yeah, I hated House of a Thousand. That was one of House of a Thousand Corpses was one of the only few movies I went to the theater to see, and I absolutely hated, along with Prometheus and Iron Man 3. I came out of those movies hating it. I was like, what the hell did I pay money for with these shits? So, Eric says, I love Rob Zombie's music, but his movies I heard are hit or miss. Devil's Rejects seems to be his only decent film. So I haven't seen Devil's Rejects, so I have no opinion on that. But I do know the House of a Thousand Corpses. So, let's see. Screw it out more. Shout out to the 19 people watching, coming here for this Monday live stream of Communitah, Unitah Spook reviews. Oh, look, it's Liam Gray Stalker, Brown CBR. I had a lot of man's Discord server with Minesweeper, and now I am the owner. Oh, crap. See, somebody gave him the link, and now he's in our Discord, the safe space.
Oh, God.
He's hijacked. So I'm working on with some professionals now to get rid of him so that we can maintain the safe space of the Discord. So for everybody there, please bear with us as we fix this particular problem. So thank you for tuning in. I love H2O, the first role of Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett had a very short career. Like, he did Pearl Harbor, Halloween, H2O, and then like there was Sin City, and then I don't remember him in anything else after that. So.
Didn't he mainly do some rom-coms and shit like that?
He may have, but he was more remembered for like Pearl Harbor and Sin City. And I think that was it. E-Man 590 says, I have a soft spot for Rob's solo music because of its use in wrestling, ECW, and Edge using it in WWF, WWE. Oh, yeah. I remember his theme song in ECW, Hardcore TV. Those were the days. I felt that way walking out of The Force Awakens. I hated it. Yeah, I watched Force Awakens straight through. I think I lied to myself, KSS, when I said, it'll probably be better. Like, I said to myself, the movie was okay. I'm sure that the story was going to go somewhere in part 2, and of course we know what happened in part 2. Last Jedi was absolute hot garbage and one of the worst films ever made. So I'm glad I have to this day I have not paid money to see Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. I've seen Last Jedi. I have not seen Rise of Skywalker. But I have not paid for either one. So yeah.
The worst disappointment from walking out of a cinema movie was Troy from Wolfgang Petersen. That was a shitty ass shit movie.
I don't think taking away the gods in that story was the best idea.
Yeah, and it had crap actors. Orlando Bloom is a fucking bad actor.
He was the weak link in that movie. That's absolutely. He wasn't really good as
Paris.
Paris. Yes, he wasn't. He was very wimpy, kind of like annoying. But I thought Eric Bana was good. He did a good job as Hector, but I could not get into Brad Pitt as Achilles. I think he was more of a jerk in that movie, and I think I hated him in that movie.
Yeah, it rewritten the whole premise of the Trojan War. Nothing fitted in that movie.
Yeah, the Trojan War began because of some beauty pageant with the gods and the goddesses, and that's what started the whole Trojan War. But they took that out.
They took the gods out. They took the mythology out. They took the seer out who saw the demise of Troy.
Yeah,
and all the good stuff from the mythology, which made the story compelling, was put out. The only good thing about Troy was Sean Bean as Odysseus. I liked him.
Yeah, Sean Bean's a good actor. He was. And again, I think Eric Bana was good as Hector too. He put on a very good sympathetic performance, and he made you feel for the character. But yeah, I hated Brad Pitt in that movie. JB Salas says, I am a bit behind at Helmut. Paul W.S. Anderson. Wes Anderson is the I'm so quirky guy.
Yeah, maybe I mistook those two. I meant the guy who is married to Mila Jovovich, the fucking actress from the fucking Resident Evil movies.
El De Gusto says, I never understood the Promethean. Hey, I think he means Prometheus. So if you want El De Gusto, and I'll give you a quick bullet point here, but if you want, go check out my first Communitah Unitah Spook review where I did Alien, and I talked a little bit about Prometheus. And in short, Prometheus retcons a lot of the lore of the Alien movie, and it really just asks more questions than it answers. It tries to be, what is it? It tries to be, what's the word? Not mind-blowing. This is a different word. Profound. Okay. It tries to be profound, and it's really just, well, that's kind of stupid. Like I had memory hold 80% of the movie, but I remember like watching reviews of it, and I'm like, that stupid thing happened. Yeah, that retarded thing happened. That really, really dumb thing happened. Yeah, there's a lot of dumb things in that movie that just didn't make sense. And I'm like, this is the movie that was supposed to answer the mystery of Alien. I'm like, no, it was a terrible movie. It really was. Even as a standalone movie, it was terrible because it doesn't have a really full, conclusive denouement. And it's like, well, the cyborg David was just not likable at all, for starters, and you felt like he didn't really get that comeuppance like he should have. But
if you feel, as a filmmaker, if you feel the need to explain everything, your idea is shit.
You know what? You don't. That's right. You need a little mystery in your story. Sometimes it's good to have a little mystery, and let the fans or the readers come up with their own takes on what that's about. I'll give you an example of a mystery. So, Roadwarrior Drake. Some people want to say that he's a D word. He's not the D word. He's a different kind of creature. What kind of creature? Well, you may never know. I just may keep it that way.
I think of him of some kind of toxic Avenger character.
That's a interesting analogy. I'll let it happen. It's fine. Even if I'm not, he says, I may have to watch Iron Man 3. My nephew is begging me to watch the rest of the MCU. I will stop at Endgame and just watch No Way Home so I can have closure on Spider-Man. That's the way to do it. Just watch Endgame and then go to No Way Home, and then that's it. Anything after that is just filler, and it's killing ollies and the toy industry and other forms of merchandise.
I'm done with Disney. They could have made a second coming of Citizen Kane. I wouldn't watch it. Fuck Disney.
Yes, yes. Lady Shadowband says, "Hail to the chat. Welcome, my love." Oh,
Hello.
see, I speak to Lady Shadowband, and look who has to come in piggybacking. Carol says,
Oh my god, it's Carol.
Why do you nerds always end up talking about Star Wars nerds crap? It's supposed to be a horror movie, blood and guts and stuff like that. And then she throws tables and violence. There's your blood, Carol. Violence. You know why we talk about this? Because a lot of it ties in back to the points what we like or didn't like about Halloween season 3. Well, we did deviate a bit. Oh, yeah, because I brought up how certain movies that I hated made me walk out of the theater. Oh, what does that have to do with Halloween 3? I don't know. But the conversation led to that at some point. And that's the good thing about these streams is we can have those kind of conversations and it brings in more content and material, I think.
It's interesting because we talked about cinema, and back then it wasn't that much of a problem when a movie didn't sell that good in the cinemas. You had also the VHS market after that, and that was where the money was. And that was the same case for Halloween 3. Halloween 3 was sold better on the VHS market than in the cinemas.
Yeah, it was one of those movies that did great on VHS. And VHS was really much like how TV in the 50s was like a second coming for movies that got released in theaters in the 30s and 40s. VHS in the 80s was really the second coming for movies that got released prior to that didn't do great in theaters, but it gave people more access to movies than before. So a lot of these movies got rediscovered and redefined. And Halloween 3 was one of those movies that got redefined, and it's developed a cult status because of that.
Yeah, hey, even on Laserdisc, I remember watching some of my first horror movies on Laserdisc because I had a very old pal of mine who was older who had a Laserdisc player, and we watched the stuff on Laserdisc.
Yeah, Laserdisc was really come and gone. It never really had its
They had amazing covers. Covers.
Even look, VHS has had amazing covers, and I regret getting rid of some of my VHSs because of the covers, but I've been kind of collecting a little bit of those just to have those covers because they're very, very well made and very nostalgic. Film posters and video covers are very lacking today in their design.
Yeah, it's bland and uninspired. The movie posters of the 80s were really, really good.
Henry Through says, Hail Henry Through. Welcome to the stream. I know you're driving home. Hopefully you're driving home safely. He's listening to us talk about this movie and listen to our conversation. So Henry Through, get to where you're going to safe and sound so you can get back to the chat and hang out with us as we discuss Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yes.
And it is a movie that has divided people in terms of where it sits as a Halloween film or a film as its own. Even this conversation between me and Helmet versus the rest of the chat is a good indicator of how well the film is received, even to this day. And honestly, when I went into watching the movie, I was hoping to like it. And I don't hate it. But I'm telling you, the scenes that drag did bring the movie down a bit. And I think I may have mentally tuned out for a bit. But then when Tom Atkins got captured and Cochran was giving him the 411 on what the plan for the mask was, that's when I'm like, okay, it's getting me back into it. But then that weird ending happened. Well, the ending, but the scene when they leave the factory, that kind of like, oh, that was weird. How that happened.
The middle part is the problem of the movie. Yes,
Yes.
the beginning and the end, awesome, very good, but the middle part lacks everything.
So no, guys, when this was released in theaters, it cost about $4 million to make, and it made like 14 million. So it did make some kind of a profit, but it was the lowest grossing movie in the Halloween franchise. So that
He, he
that was
is kind of right for the European market because here in Germany it was direct to VHS. Didn't play in the cinemas.
A friend of mine had the Cannibal Holocaust Laserdisc, got it signed by Ruggiero Diodato, who didn't know what it was.
Nice
Wow.
story.
Yeah. Oh man, because I love the poster for La Chiesa. La Chiesa, okay, so La Chiesa is also the church. It was
Michele Soavi, yeah.
yes, because Suave directed by did he direct it? It was his first movie, right? Michele Suave's first movie.
He was the right-hand man of Dario Argento for a long time,
Right.
and then he made either the church or the sect.
There's the church. Yeah, the church is the church was released in some countries as Demons 3, and it wasn't. And there's a whole story about a lot of movies that was released as Demons 3 in various countries, but there was never officially a Demons 3.
I would say the church is the Italian way of doing Prince of Darkness from John Carpenter.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
by the way,
it's kind of the same premise.
And a little trivia of the church is it features Hugh Carshi. Hugh Carshi was the guy that played Padme's security guard in the Phantom Menace, the black guy.
Yeah.
He was the hero. He was the hero in La Chiesa. Okay, go ahead.
What was a very good atmospheric, more of a mystery than a horror movie, but it was very good.
Maybe we'll talk about that movie down the road because I think it might be an interesting movie to discuss. Because it was also the film debut of Ozzy Argento. No! I take it back. All right, that was Demons 2. That was Ozzy Argento's film debut. But Ozzy Argento was one of the main characters in La Chiesa.
It would be awesome if we would talk about Italian horror movies. There is a lot of good Dario Argento stuff, especially Opera and Phenomena.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what these streams are for. We're going to be doing a lot of those too. So there's a lot of movies we can discuss: silent movies, the Italian horror stuff, the British stuff, the Japanese stuff. Like there's a lot of Japanese horror that has not been discovered.
Oh, Tetsuo.
Oh, Tetsuo the Iron Man. No. That may not be a comfortable movie to watch for a lot of people. So
that's a weird movie.
It is
a weird movie.
Yes, it's a weird movie with a very weird ending. I'll leave it at that.
But you are also kind of a H.P. Lovecraft fan, aren't you?
Yes.
So would you say that the Lucio Fulci Italian horror movies are kind of Lovecraftian?
Maybe like maybe the Beyond.
The Beyond, yes, exactly.
Yeah, maybe that. But movies like Last House on the Left, I wouldn't say are Lovecraftian. I think Fuccio was a guy who needed someone to like rein him in because he had great ideas. He definitely had a vision, but he was a little aloof with how he told the stories. But because Zombie was fun, was well made. City of the Dead was fun and well made. Last House on the Left was very dragging, and it didn't really get interesting until the end.
I think his best movie is maybe The Beyond.
So yeah, a lot of people feel that and Zombie were his two best movies. So yeah, definitely. Ken says Halloween 3 was only in theater for something like 3 weeks. I hated it when I first watched it. Second time I was probably where it last me. Is it perfect? Far from it, but it's okay. Yeah, it's a movie with problems. And I think problems hurt it more. But the good things about it are pretty well made. And I think that's why the movie to this day gets the recognition it's been getting. It's more or less because of what made the movie good versus the bad that kept it down for a bit.
I think it's a great in between movie on a Halloween movie night. You watch something like, let's say, Evil Dead, and then you watch Halloween 3, and then you watch The Thing or something like that. It's a come down movie, an in between movie.
Yeah. I love Rubber Lover from Japan. Oh, get Mango.
Oh,
This is not
God.
that stream. This is not that. Damn it.
Oh, God.
He made me highlight it too. See, I ran into that. That wasn't cool.
Sometimes he gives me the creeps.
Sometimes, have you talking to him? Every time he taps, because he pulls out that the wool from your eyes, and it's like, oh man, he typed that, and I ended up reading it. So,
He's
not
also
cool.
talking all the time about Necromantic, and I know this movie, alas, Matt.
Okay,
Oh,
so yeah, tell me what is it about that movie?
it's about a necrophilic couple
Okay.
who steal a corpse from the cemetery. I don't know
Oh,
exactly.
wait, say no more. I know where this is going. Okay.
Yeah, and
yeah.
exactly. It's awful. But fun fact: the guy who made the movie is now making comics for Weissblish Comics.
Oh, there you go. See how it all ties back to comics?
Yeah, it's all tied together.
Oh wait, well, Red, that was not necessary. This was not necessary. Halloween is a D-word slashing movie. Was that necessary? Not acceptable. He was mean for doing that.
I would like to do a poll in the chat.
A call-in?
A poll.
Oh, poll. Okay, what poll do you want to do?
Which of the three masks the people like the most? I mean, the Pumpkinhead, the Skeleton, and Wikiverse.
Wait, what was that third mask?
Wikiverse.
Oh, I was like, wait, did he say what I thought he said? I'm like, okay, he did. Okay. I wouldn't wish the third one on anybody. No. Even that's too low for me. No.
I would understand with that mask that your face is melting into insects and all that stuff if you put it on.
Oh gosh. Yeah, E-Man, we're gonna be doing Universal horror films for sure, so don't worry. That's on the agenda. Especially the Wolfman stuff and the Frankenstein stuff. So that'll be on the agenda.
Oh, I would love to talk about the Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera movie because there's so much to talk about.
That's a movie I watch every Halloween. That is a definite Halloween movie for me, Phantom of the Opera. So, speaking of Universal Monsters, Lady Shaman wanted me to show this. She got this for me at the drive-in yesterday. Here it is. It's supposed to be a Minecraft character, but she had the guy custom make it so that it ended up looking. And don't pay attention to the character underneath it. It's not what you think it is. If you think it is, I'm going to ban you. So please do not. Don't you dare say what it is. I will ban you. Trust and believe. I will ban people. So don't say that this is the D word because it's not the D word. Not at all. But it was cool. It's absolutely cool. And it's cute. I like it.
The way you hold it kind of looks like that it's your face underneath because your mouth is.
That's very racist, and I don't appreciate that kind of division element. So we're not friends no more. So fine.
You were holding that picture in that way. I'm just pointing it out. Sorry.
Anyway, I will forgive Helmet's trespass as I go back to the chat. And let's see. Scroll down more. Thank you guys for tuning in. 21 beautiful people watching for a Monday Spook review stream. So that's awesome. Wolfman is beautiful movie, black and white, of course. I love black and white movies, and the Universal movies were great partly because of the black and white, and it really heightens the horror and the moodiness of some scenes, especially when it takes place either in the forest or in the cemetery. So yeah. Not saying it, Carol. I'm not saying it. I don't care. I don't care if we type it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Is that Elasma Stein? Aha! 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 KSS. It's Frankie writing a D word named Drake. Of course. Of course. It strike that from the record. Strike it from the record. If only Elasma would Minecraft himself. Why is this allowed, guy in his room? Why are you allowed?
That's funny.
No, it's not funny. It's a threat of my life.
It
Right,
is
Henry
funny
Three
because
don't say so.
Minecraft is incredibly gay.
But I matter, though. Don't you care that I matter?
Everybody loves you, Elasmat.
I'm cherished.
Yeah,
You know this.
yeah. We all love you, and we love you. We love to make fun of you.
No, you can't do that. That's against the terms of services. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I understand that these terms of services only exist in your head.
That was a vicious attack on my life. Completely vicious attack. I don't appreciate that helmet at all.
I'm sorry.
Shout out to Henry Field for making it safe. So
Have I mentioned that it's only 200 days till Halloween?
no, you have not.
Yeah, it's not much time.
That'll be fun. I during Halloween, I always give candy out to the kids on the front door when they come and come by. It's a tradition. It's a tradition I started back when my wife passed away back in 2022. Just hang out by the door and watch the kids come by door to door and have a sack of candy I give to them, and it was fun. It was cathartic and fun, and I enjoyed being a part of that. And it's been my new tradition since.
It's not much of a thing in Germany. It's coming around now. And
Right.
last year was the first time where a lot of kids were at our door, and I really enjoyed it stuff. I can understand why you guys love Halloween so much.
KSS says, "Are we going to watch any Gallo?" I'm not sure. Gallo's like to me like throwaway. It's really disposable entertainment.
There,
That's where I give Gallo. So
I would say there are a handful of Jallos who are also horror movies like Opera or Stage Fright Aquarius.
yeah.
But
Have a
not
good night,
much.
Henry. Through. So good. But let me ask you: Are you? Do you see yourself watching Halloween 3 again?
Yeah, I think this year on Halloween I will watch it again.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But I'm also a sucker for campy and cheesy movies. I like stuff like Night of the Creeps or the Full Moon stuff from Charlie Band. I really like those movies. They don't make much sense, but yeah.
We might do one of those Charles Band movies, like Dolls was one of them. Reanimator,
Subspecies.
Subspecies. I probably yeah. Anything like in the 80s, well, and maybe like early 90s, but that's the threshold. I don't want to go beyond that. But
Maybe Demonic Toys or Puppet Master.
maybe we'll see. We'll see if the demand is there for that. As we mention it more and more, we'll see. Because we definitely have a demand for the Italian movies. And yeah, there's a lot of good Italian horror movies that between Italy, Britain, and Japan, there's a whole library of movies that will keep us busy for a whole year at least. So I think it's cool to have that conversation. A lab that gives all the kids razor blade filled apples. That's a reference to Night of the Demons, isn't it, guy in his room? I know it is. Well, you're wrong. I don't do that. I give
Night of the Demons?
Yes.
Was that one with Linnea Quigley?
Yep.
Okay. Then I know what you mean. But Demons 1 and 2 are probably Italian movies we could talk about in the future.
Yes, I love those movies. Those are fun movies. Demons 1 and 2. Mango says Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland about aliens, please. Maybe. Oh wait. Oh, you mean Puppet Masters? Right. Is it the Puppet Masters? I think it's the Puppet Masters. No, wait, Puppet Masters or the Body Snatchers? I think he's talking about the Body Snatchers.
Yeah,
With
Donald
Lloyd.
Sutherland was in Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Candace says Ghoulies, Trolls, Troll 2. Trolls is a very underrated movie. It's also the first movie that features Harry Potter. I don't know if people know that, but the first appearance of Harry Potter was in Troll.
I like
That's
Ghoulies.
Ghoulies, I didn't like Ghoulies. I like Ghoulies 2 was better than Ghoulies 1. Like Ghoulies was okay, and then the ending happened. I'm like, man.
I like Ghoulies more than Killer Clowns from Outer Space because that movie is a bit too over the top for me.
I agree with you on that. I will say I do prefer Ghoulies over Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I never fully got into Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I never understood the love for it. So I'm just going to the chat right now. Do Troll 2. Yeah. Maybe if I did Troll, we'll do Troll 2 as a side by side.
That's a movie I'm not too keen to watch again.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain scenes in Troll 2 that are disturbing, but I don't know if I would do a whole stream on that movie because I know why it's got that infamy over the years, but it's actually kind of a dull movie.
I would be really interested to watch the Subspecies movies again because it's a long time that I've seen those movies.
Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland is from 1990, similar name to Puppet Master from Full Moon Production.
Oh,
okay, maybe it is Puppet Masters. Okay, yeah, maybe it is Puppet Masters then. Okay, because I was thinking Body Snatchers, not the movie he did in '78, but there was another movie called Body Snatchers later on. So I was thinking about because there was a movie called Body Snatchers from the '90s that came out. So maybe it's a different movie from, I guess, Puppet Masters, which is what you're talking about. So.
I kind of liked Invasion from Mars more than Body Snatchers, to be honest.
I enjoyed Invasion from Mars.
You did what?
I said I enjoyed Invasion from Mars.
Yeah, it has very cool visuals and FX and puppets and creatures. It was awesome.
Yes, that was a very spooky movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good point, but nobody wants to talk about that. So fine, I won't. I'll just not say a word. Yes, I know. Okay, I know that's not exactly a sequel to Troll. It's clearly not a sequel because it's different creatures, different filmmakers, and no reference to the first movie. It clearly wasn't a sequel because the creatures in that movie weren't even trolls; they were goblins. Yes, that was the reveal at the end. They were goblins. So, but they call it Troll 2. Why? I guess I have to do a quick trivial research. So I can present that reason, but that's the lore of that movie. So yes, I know. Wait, the D word hates fun. Got it. Screw you. I love life. I hate your hate. How about that? I hate your hate. God is room. I hate your hate very much.
What do you think of Hobgoblins, Lasmit?
I barely remember Hobgoblins, but I guess I didn't really care for it. I guess there wasn't enough Hobgoblins in that movie.
I think they used the same puppets as in Ghoulies.
They did. Yeah, so the Ghoulies puppets were used in both Hobgoblins and Troll.
Yeah, I kind of see it now, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Yes, Nilbog. Yes, that was the great reveal at the end. Oh, Nilbog. Spelled backwards. Oh, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed? So... How brave and stunning, D word. No, you're brave and stunning. How about that? How about you're brave and stunning? I like this visual I'm looking at. Again, this is another example of how Halloween 3 could have used some of their visuals and really heightened the tension or the mood, make something spooky out of it. We needed more of these masks in the movie.
The masks look, the skeleton mask looks like the Batman Michael Keaton movie skeleton mask from those motorcycle riders he fights.
Yeah, from from Batman Returns.
Yes, yes.
I like Mars Attacks. I get to see how it would sound if I was president. Well, you were on a stream and you spoke. You spake. So we know that how you sound because we heard it. You proclaimed it. You proclaimed it. Let's see. And Mango with his YouTube links. Puppet Master. Yeah, you already dropped that link to Puppet Master's trailer. Yes. I'll probably watch it and it'll probably remind me and I'll be it'll not to use the word trigger, but it'll trigger that memory. Like, oh yeah, that's what I remember that movie now. Yes, I do. How about Leprechaun with Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston's old nose? Rest in peace, Jennifer Aniston's old nose. By the way, it was a great nose. It was a beautiful nose.
Leprechaun 1 was pretty good, but everything after that was pretty shit.
It was a weird idea to make a movie out of leprechauns, but yeah, it did. It was.
So since I'm thinking about subspecies, Les Matt, what do you think of the Phantasm movies? Because Angus Scrimm was in Subspecies and in Phantasm.
So I haven't seen the Phantasm movies outside of the first one. I remember watching that first one when I was younger, when it was on WPIX Channel 11. They played that movie on WPIX Channel 11 during the day. Like that was the thing. Like if you were in New York City, Channel 11, like Monday afternoon movies, sometimes they would show a horror movie, and it's like wow, they that's how I first saw Carrie, and then, wait, what was the movie you were talking about?
Phantasm.
Phantasm, yes, Phantasm. This little Carrie, Phantasm. Those movies will come on during the day, and it's like, well, it's kind of weird movie to put on during the day. Let's traumatize these kids, traumatize them early on. Let's do it. Let's get them while they're just coming home from school or they're sick at home from school. Maybe that's why they did it, because they would traumatize the kids that are at home sick from school.
Phantasm had a great idea and
great atmosphere. Yeah, it definitely did. Every film was good in that movie.
And the only kill that's done right, because they kill someone in the cemetery with those orbs, with those flying orbs. Do you remember? And that guy dies and is pissing his pants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's the truth. If somebody gets killed or is accidentally dying, his bowel empties and his bladder empties. So that was a right kill scene.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I totally see that from a scientific standpoint.
Yeah, and they cut it out for some versions on the European market. The part where he pisses his pants.
Yeah, some places are some I guess some regions that are very sensitive about like showing scatological stuff. So they won't show it. You know, I remember well, that's a conversation for another day, but yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to find the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch TV broadcast commercial.
The movie commercial or the real commercial?
Like the from like when it broadcasts on TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that pumpkin image right there is pretty dope. They could have made a mask out of that. Just avoiding a copyright. That's right. We should be fun showing this. So very spooky. Let's see here. Kuma says if Chrissy Swanson way hotter than Hillary Swank. It's debatable, but yeah, I'm more Chrissy Swanson than Hillary Swank. I'm not against that. I'm not against that. And Will Red giving us what his good nights are like. I don't know why that's necessary, but he typed it, so I'm showing it. 24 people. Now we got 24 people watching. Now the view count has increased as we're an hour and 36 minutes into the stream, and I'll be cutting it short in a little while. Not cutting it short, I'll be cutting it in a little while. But try not. I do not go more than 2 hours on these streams because A, for replay value, and B, I got things to do and I don't want to be behind on work. So
we should do the poll. Which movie we do next week?
Let me see. Okay, so wait. Let's see some suggestions in the chat. What do you want me to talk about in next week's Communitah Unitah Spook review? What do you guys suggest? Let me check the chat. Let's see here. Yes, Carol. Replay value. Yes. I'm worth it. I'm so worth it, Carol.
KSSS says Demon. I think he means Demon 1.
Demoni, yes. With Lamberto Bava's Demoni. Okay, so we got that. No, we're not doing that 1992 space movie, Carol. We're not doing that.
That's verboten in Germany, that movie.
what happened? What about Germany?
That movie is verboten in Germany.
I wonder why. It's a tolerant movie.
Of course, yeah, totally.
Abraham says, do you need to stream for 7 hours and sell 0 comics while you're at it? Well, I hear that that's not the best working model. I don't know. Some people think it is, but I don't think it is. I don't think selling to your same audience for 7 hours is going to move sales. You actually want to go outside your circle to sell books. So, yeah, I maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's a good business model. So, yeah, Demon is one of my favorite horror movies. To me, that movie was the precursor to the running zombie genre that people say started with 28 Days Later. Or 28 Days is what the first movie was called. But no, movies like Demoni and then even like Return of the Living Dead had some running zombies. So that movie was not the first one to do it. Bear's what are you worth? I'm confused. Well, that's the problem, Bear. You're confused. There's medication you could take for that. Twilight Zone TV series. Let's go for 10 hours next time. Twilight Zone was a great series. It's one of the best written series ever made. But so far, it seems like Demoni seems to be the preferred choice for next week. So I guess we do Demoni next week, right?
Wait, the first one is the one in the skyscraper, and the second one is the one in the cinema. Am I right?
No, the first one's the one in the cinema, and the second one's the one in the skyscraper.
Oh, they did in Europe the switcheroo thing because it's the way around here in Germany.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of weird. Guyism says never heard of Demoni. So yeah, okay. So it was made in 1985. Some great gore effects, directed by Lamberto Bava, the son of Mario Bava, with the score by Claudio Simonetti, who was a member of Goblin, which was the group that did a lot of the scores for Dario Argento's movies. But it also had a good 80s rock and roll soundtrack, including Billy Idol, among others, and I forgot the other. Was it who else was it? Not Cheap Trick. Anyway, we could discuss that when I talk about the movie. But it had a good 80s rock soundtrack. Wait, abuse? Who's abusing who? Bear? Nobody's abusing anybody. Akuma said, I've never seen Demoni. Well, now you got a reason to, because we're going to review it for next week. It looks like that's going to be next week's movie.
Yeah,
so we're doing that. And it is one of my favorite horror movies, so I have a lot to say about that one. So, yeah, that'll be next week's movie.
And it has an interesting thing in common with Halloween 3, but we will talk about it next week.
Oh, you're right. It does. There is that one thing it does have in common. And you know what's funny? And I know I'm going ahead, so I won't say too much, but regarding that one thing, a lot of people they review that movie and they don't understand the connection between what they present in the first half and what happens later. And it's like, dude, the connection is with Michelle Suave.
Yep.
His character is what connects it. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the movie, because I'm so surprised a lot of critics have not connected it. So, guys, I'm guessing Demoni is perverted and discuss it. And that's why the D were like, okay, first of all, you can stuff it with your allegations of perversion. I'm a human being. I bring peace, love, and light. That's the first thing. Second thing is Demoni is actually kind of devoid of any sexuality. Aside from a couple of shots of some slight suggestive stuff, it's overall devoid of any sexuality.
It has a bunch of very beautiful women, but nothing sexual.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Akuma, I'm giving you homework. So for next week's movie, you're going to be watching. Make sure you watch Demoni, also known as Demons. Came out in 1985, directed by Lamberto Bava, the son of Mario Bava. Produced by Dario Argento, with a killer rock soundtrack from the 80s and also supplemental score by Claudio Simonetti of Goblin fame. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so yeah. I saw a black naked butt in Demoni. Where? How? Oh, well, it is Mango, so he'll see whatever. So yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, with that being said, I think we will call it a stream, and that'll be next week's movie, Demoni. Okay, it says last bet is a human being, and Demoni's devoid of sexuality, just like a last bet. Ha ha! Aha! Aha! I'm sorry, I was choked up by how funny that was. I really was. I watched uncut version from the first movie. I guess you're talking about the first Demons movie. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can find in the market is the uncut version. And that's the only way you can see it. Only way you should see it, so you can see the gore. So, Carol is happy that the stream is ending, even though I haven't officially hit the exit button yet. Maybe I'll go for another couple minutes. How about that?
Yeah. What shall we talk about?
I don't know, but Andrew Curry says, ooh. Well, that's Carol, and then Andrew says it. No, Andrew says it first, then Carol says it.
What's going on?
I don't know. But I'm getting cooked in the chat because my lady Shadman is making me dinner.
Maybe give a preview what's coming up this week with Indie Comic Outliers.
Okay, so I haven't picked my guy yet, so unfortunately I can't give it a preview. That would have been a good idea, but I have not been able to. However, I will say this: thanks for those of you that have watched the documentary. When the culture war hit those pretty pictures, I did put the link to the documentary in the description of the stream. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a very interesting documentary, and I definitely recommend watching it and learning from it and being a better person from it. So,
you wanted to talk about or do a stream about the action figure tariff situation.
I might do a video on it because I do want to still do short form videos on the channel because it does help the channel grow. And I've gotten a lot of subs since, and I noticed with my subs growing, my live streams are getting more views. So if I continue doing like short form videos and get more subs that way, I get more people to watch my live streams and interact and engage. My mentor Kirby is in the chat. Hello, Kirby.
Hello, Kirby.
Angel, she did no such thing, and I'm glad. I'm glad. Absolutely glad.
Was she there?
I did not see her there, so no. And I think on that note, we're going to end it here. Wait, The Prophecy with Christopher Walken, underrated as AF, underrated ASF. Watch it. Yeah, I heard some good things about it. I did. Carol is revealing her failing to stalk me at the drive-in. She says, "I tried to, but he ran. That did no such thing. That is fake news. That is a lie."
Carol kind of mutates into Max Caddy from Cape Fear.
She really does.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we had a decent showing. We were watching Halloween season 3, Angela, at 5 o'clock Eastern time. It seems to me that's like a decent time for some people to come in and watch it. So, well, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little feedback there. So anyway, sorry about that. So Mondays at 5 o'clock Eastern time, I think it's probably the best time to watch it. So we'll do a watch party next Friday at 5 o'clock at the Discord. And for those that have not been to the Discord, I guess I will show the link. So let me go ahead and pop in here and get the invite link for the safe space. That's the name of this Discord. It is a safe space for people who are marginalized like I am. It's where you can come in and feel important and feel like you belong, because you belong and you matter, and I'll make sure you matter. So come in, and then Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern time, we'll watch the first Demons movie, and we will have a conversation about it afterwards. So she's all caught up. So wait? I just caught up. Wait, did you fast forward? I think she fast forwarded. That tells me that she didn't think my commentary was interesting. That's hurtful. Wow, that's really hurtful.
Angela is a sweetheart. She wouldn't do that to you.
Anyway, I'm gonna go and end it all. So thank you all for tuning in. That is my Discord where we're at the safe space. This is where I drop in material for my streams for people to hang out and chill, just to have fun, away from the CGBS, just to have fun. So the safe space, well, we're at the safe space. That's what I call it. I am the sweetest of all heart. You made tables to toss at me and a manifesto disguised as a comic, Carol. You're not sweet. You're dangerous and unhinged. Totally unhinged.
Cape Fear, Carol.
Okay, so she watched at 1.5 speed. Okay. I guess.
Are we talking too much, or why is she watching at that speed?
I guess to catch up. I don't know.
Oh,
Complete destroying tables as she does. Okay, I'm leaving. So thanks for tuning
bye.
in. Thank you, Helmet, for being here. And
Thank
you know how we go. You know how we do it.